Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Fourthly Demo Day. Super excited to have you all here with us today, wherever you may be. So I'm Brett Waters. I've been in Silicon Valley my entire life, immersed in the world of entrepreneurship and innovation. Today, I teach at Stanford University. I coach CEOs at the Miller Center for Social Entrepreneurship, and I run the Fourthly Startup Accelerator. So the World Economic Forum says that we're entering the fourth industrial revolution, a unique time of innovation and entrepreneurship around the world. And we founded Fourthly to be a new startup accelerator for this new revolution. One of the characteristics of the fourth industrial revolution is the democratization of access to knowledge and access to opportunity. And you'll see that most of the startups here with us this morning are examples of this. Mercado is giving small business operators access to enterprise scale technology. Averick is giving gig workers access to CPA services. Nanny Scout is helping families across the economic spectrum find childcare for their kids. Rella is helping couples plan an awesome wedding, even if they can't afford an expensive wedding planner. Locale is connecting consumers with farmers and other independent producers of local healthy food. And Zilch is making it easier and more convenient for all of us to try to help save the planet. So it's an amazing group of entrepreneurs that we have here this morning. And I think you'll enjoy seeing their presentations. Each one is going to give a 3-minute presentation. And then to the extent that we have time, we'll take some questions. So please type your questions into the chat box and feel free to type them in while the presentations are happening. And then we will get to them. As many as we can. So first up this morning is Jesse. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning, Brett. How are you?
Good, thank you. And where are you this morning?
I'm in Brooklyn. Thank you for bringing us this heat wave.
All right. So Jesse, tell us what we need to know about Rella.
Oh, fantastic. Well, first off, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Appreciate you guys joining this. I'm super excited to be kicking off this demo day with all of these great founders in this cohort, and this has just been a fantastic 6-week journey for us. My name is Jesse Link, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Rella. Rella is a holistic wedding planning platform on a mission to empower couples to build weddings that are authentic to who they are. There's a 90% chance you or someone you know is currently engaged. And no, it's not because you have a lot of friends. It's because the U.S. wedding market is massive, with 7.5 million weddings, 300 million guests, and over $70 billion spent annually. Those weddings per year numbers are really consistent over the last 20 years. For the super majority of couple, the 85% who choose to plan on their own, they face a massive uphill battle planning arguably the most logistically complex event in their life. Why is it so challenging? No, not this, but this. Heart rate start to rise? As far as we know, there's no nagging mother-in-laws here. The digital solutions currently available are generic, disjointed, impersonal, and are focused more on selling to couples than supporting them. This lends itself to the stressful experience you know about, couples using 7 different tools over 500 hours to plan their big day. We've experienced it ourselves. My co-founder and twin sister was a bride in a tight budget that experienced every planning pain point you could imagine leading up to her COVID Zoom wedding. What became clear to us is that for couples who do not have access to a wedding planner, there's no simple and easy way to plan and manage your big day with confidence and with ease. Call us romantics, call us pragmatists. We believe modern couples deserve modern experiences. Welcome to Rella, a single intuitive wedding planning platform for couples to build their wedding in one simple place. We're built at the intersection of efficiency and empathy because our couple's time is valuable and they too deserve that special feeling and peace of mind. We pride ourselves as being your other better half. Just a couple quick questions. We curate your personal planning dashboard based upon your personality, your budget, and your timeline. Let you collaborate with your loved ones, give you access to a real-life wedding expert, and insert moments of celebration along the way so you never lose sight of the big picture. We're built entirely for the experience-driven, tech-savvy millennial that craves simplicity and personalization. With the continued rise of multicultural and interracial marriages, there's a significant need for planning partners that are not just flexible, but attainable and understanding. We will be that trusted partner to fill the gap. And we'll do so with a high margin business. Our multi-tiered subscription model at a cost 90% cheaper than the average wedding planner will allow us to cater to the masses and be by their side from ring to honeymoon. Now, I told you a little bit about Ari, my co-founder, who by way of background is a solutions graphic designer and author of the best-selling wedding planning book, Perfect Little Planner. She's someone who hates the idea of couples losing sleep planning their big day. I'm formerly a vice president at Goldman Sachs in private investments, but more so I'm a helpless romantic, I'm a dreamer, and I'm passionate about democratizing this special feeling for couples on this very important day. Most importantly, at 29, we are our target consumer. Our MVP is currently in testing, and we're building a waitlist for our pilot, which is just past 150. We're currently raising a convertible note to facilitate our Q3 go-to-market strategies and the initial scaling of both our team and our product. If you have any questions, you can always reach me at jesse@rella.love. And we'd love if you join the journey as we bring the love back to weddings. Thank you.
Nice job, Jesse. That was terrific. So we've got a couple questions coming in here in chat. One has to do with the pricing model. How's the pricing on this work? I think we've lost Jesse's audio.
Can you hear me?
Yep, now I can hear you. Yep.
Awesome. Sorry about that. So the model that we think will be the most used is going to be, it's monthly and annual at $65 a month. And if you pay the annual, you'll get 2 months free. And that will come with the first sort of one-on-one with the wedding expert will come sort of free with the package. And then with that package, you'll get between 4 and 6 additional one-on-ones, and then a la carte after that. My favorite, though, is our top model, which we're calling Treat Yourself, which is just a flat $1,000.
Got it. So that's a whole hell of a lot cheaper than a wedding planner. Yeah,
absolutely. The average wedding planner, full service, start to finish, is bottom line $5,000 and well into the 6 figures and others.
Yeah. One of our daughters just recently got engaged, so she's just starting this process of wedding planning, and it's a big project and it's a big industry. So I think you've chosen.
She's got what it takes to tackle it, though.
Yeah, I hope so. All right, Jesse, thanks very much.
Thanks so much, everyone.
All right, so let's keep rolling now with Nanny Scout. So Sonia and Nora, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
So when I first met these guys, Sonia and Nora are both young moms, and my wife and I are no longer young parents, but my wife and I have 7 kids. It's a Brady bunch, and so we remember what it was like trying to find childcare, and it's a real struggle to be able to both maintain your personal life and your professional life, and feel like your kids are well taken care of. And so when I first met Sonia and Nora, I was pretty excited about what they're working on, which they're now going to tell us more about. Take it away.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Brett. And fourthly has been an amazing experience for us. So good morning or good afternoon to everyone here. My name is Sonia Wasnitzer, and I'm co-founder and CEO of Nanny Scout.
Hi, I'm Nora Wolf, and I'm co-founder and COO of Nanny Scout. Nanny Scout is revolutionizing childcare by creating amazing nanny shares.
So as a mom to a 3-year-old, I moved out of New York City to the suburbs with my family and immediately sought part-time childcare, and quickly discovered that the onus was on me to spend weeks searching through hundreds of candidates' profiles, most of which were outdated and unavailable. Without a trusted network of friends, it felt like an impossible task. And across the US, parents struggle to find a care provider they feel comfortable with and can afford. Childcare can cost more than college, but new parents haven't had the time to save up for it.
Which is exactly what happened in my family. I'm a mom to a 1.5-year-old and was faced with the tough decision of whether or not to send her to daycare through this pandemic. A nanny seemed like an unaffordable luxury, and given the choice between sending my child back to daycare or leaving the workforce, I opted to do what over 4 million women have had to do this past year. I left my career.
So we at Nanny Scout believe that childcare should be both accessible and affordable.
So how do you make childcare more accessible and affordable? You share a nanny. Nanny shares provide better quality of care, shorter commutes, and economic advantages to both parents and nannies themselves. The numbers make sense, but don't just take it from us.
Across 2 market validation surveys we conducted recently, we learned that over 75% of respondents would choose a better alternative to daycare if one was presented, and that only 12% of respondents were satisfied with their current childcare experience. Our primary market our primary markets include parents of children under 5, families who use daycare, and private nannies and daycare providers too.
So here's how it works. You subscribe and fill out a profile with up to 100 plus parameters of personalization. Then we do all the work for you. We'll provide you with family matches that fit your needs. Then once you decide on a family unit you love, we'll match you with your perfect nanny too. Going forward, we'll also be adding features to our site, like tutor matching, a forum, marketplace, and payment platform. Our goal is to create a community of trust among parents and providers.
So in order to launch this platform, we're currently seeking $1 million in investment. Children deserve high quality childcare and families deserve peace of mind. Let's reimagine childcare together.
Thanks so much, and we're here to answer any questions you might have.
Terrific. So one of the things I love about your venture is that, as you said, you can kind of start off with Nanny Share, and then there's a variety of other kind of things that you can add on, because obviously the journey as a parent is a long journey, and that fundamentally what you guys are creating is kind of a trust network for parents, right? And so, because the fundamental proposition with a Nanny Share is that, you're not going to do that unless you trust the company and trust the family you're being matched up with, et cetera. And so once you have a bunch of parents who trust you, then there's a variety of other services that you can add on to that. So I love that. So we're getting a question about pricing and how the pricing works. Everybody wants to know about pricing.
So we are going to be starting with a subscription model as well. We are going to be doing $50 monthly to use the full site. In addition to that, you can subscribe for 3 months at a time, and then ultimately pay $30 a month over the course of the 3 months.
Awesome. Perfect. Thanks, you guys. That was terrific.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so next up is Akil. So here's the thing, is that as most of you probably know, there's a real fintech revolution going on, financial technology. My wife's family is from Finland, and so she was a little disappointed when she found out that fintech was not technology from Finland. So fintech is this revolution that's happening with regard to financial services and the way in which digital technologies and new delivery models are revolutionizing financial services. And to me, one of the most exciting things about this is kind of bringing access to financial services to all. And that traditionally, brick and mortar banks, they've only really focused on the top third of the socioeconomic spectrum, because those are the ones they can make money from, right? They can't really make money off of the bottom third. Maybe they put up with the middle third. And when I first met Akil and found out about Bloom and a fintech specifically to focus on financial literacy for the college student market, I was pretty psyched, because I think it fits nicely into this larger fintech revolution going on. So Akil, with that introduction, I'll let you take it from here.
Cool, thanks, Brett. My name is Akil Reddy, and I am the co-founder and CEO of Bloom. In America and in many countries around the world, but banking has become essential. Unfortunately, the traditional banking experience is failing to meet consumer expectations and at times outright predatory. But don't take my word for it. Let's take a look at the numbers. In 2019, pre-COVID, banks charged consumers $31 billion in overdraft revenue. In the midst of a pandemic, that number shot up by 64%. And 10% of consumers make up 80% of overdraft revenue. Unsurprisingly, 14% of people say they're likely to switch banks. If we dive deeper into that metric, you'll find that it shoots up to 20% for millennials and 21% for Gen Z. You also see that the top choice drivers for Gen Z and baby boomers varies drastically, with Gen Z placing a higher importance on mobile banking and baby boomers placing a higher importance on branch locations. Each generation has a different set of preferences when it comes to banking. When me and my co-founder think about this, we think back to our college days when we were just starting out our financial journeys. And we thought about our own frustrations during that time, and we realized that we weren't alone. Last year, banks charged college students $1 billion in overdraft fees, and 43% of college students don't have a credit card. What if we reimagine the banking experience for the next generation? What would it look like? Well, we think it would look a lot like Bloom, a fee-free digital bank with a clean, easy-to-use app, coupled with our Bloom secured Visa credit card. We engineered this credit card to work exactly like a debit card, and that gives us two benefits. For us, we can charge a higher interchange fee, and for our consumers, they can build credit without taking on debt. And because we're targeting college students, we built the Bloom University Partnership Program. This gives colleges sponsorship for key events, and it gives us access to their students. We just started prospecting colleges last week, and we've already signed a letter of intent from Ohio University. When the Bobcats return from winter break in January, they'll find Bloom at student orientation, homecoming, sporting events, and various other school events. We also started an aggressive media campaign to grow our wait list, and we're finding that our cost per lead is as low as $1.50, which we're pretty excited about, given that for many credit cards, their cost per lead can go up to hundreds of dollars. We built Bloom not just for college students, but for anyone that's tired of unannounced fees, poor customer service, and a terrible banking experience. We make money off the interchange fee, and because our first product is a secured credit card, we can charge a higher interchange fee of 2%. My co-founder and I are not too far out from college. We understand the needs of Gen Z when it comes to banking. We also have the technical skills to make this a reality. I've spent the last few years at Amazon, where I built out several of the systems that power Prime, and my co-founder has developed systems that inform trading investment strategies throughout BlackRock. We're currently raising $1 million via SAFE for 12-month runway to gain our first 50,000 accounts. If you believe in us and you believe in our vision, then please reach out at hello@bankwithbloom.com.
Nice job, Akil. So let's see. So if anybody who has any questions, please type them there into the chat box, and we'll get to them. So Akil, your first kind of demographic you're going to focus on is college students. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And do you have an idea on, kind of a roadmap by which you can address additional market segments after you nail the college student market?
Well, we really want to drive in on the ability to build credit without taking on debt. And we think that could be useful for immigrants or people with low credit scores, the demographic that's often overlooked by traditional banks.
Mm-hmm. Sure. And then to hear us, the kind of the obvious question about competitors. There's lots of activity in the digital bank space these days.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's Chime, Varo. I think the biggest differentiator for us is our focus on the college student demographic, and also that ability to build credit without taking on debt.
Awesome. All right, Akil, thanks very much. That was terrific.
Thanks.
So, as I mentioned at the top, I think one of the really exciting things going on right now is kind of bringing access to powerful technologies down to the individual level. In other words, enterprise software and big technology implementations have completely transformed the way in which large companies work. And there's a whole category out there called BI software, business intelligence software. But it's the kind of thing that only big companies can afford. And so when I met Sarah, I was pretty excited by the very kind of simple, obvious notion of bringing the power of BI software, the power of business intelligence software, down to the individual practitioner kind of level. Sarah, I'll let you take it from there.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me, Brett. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Sarah Rahman, and I'm the president and co-founder of Confidence Analytics. Wouldn't it be nice if we could go back in time and make better decisions for our future? That's what happens in this movie that I loved watching growing up. Marty was a teenager who travels back in time and helps his parents make better decisions so that his family could be more successful and happier in the future. But in real life, we can't go back in time and fix our bad decisions. So it's important to get our biggest decisions right. I'm Dr. Sarah Rahman, and I'm a dentist from Toronto, Canada. And I can tell you that one of the most important decisions for a dentist is the decision of where to open up a practice. And that's because practices in great locations make at least $13.5 million more in their lifetime compared to average locations. On the other hand, a bad location is an expensive problem to fix. It can cost $250,000 in marketing per year to attract patients and $500,000 to relocate a practice. Now, the problem I faced when looking for a location for my own practice is that the existing solutions were very time-consuming and inaccurate. For example, outdated methods like postal code demographics and inaccurate business listings really made it difficult for me to make confident decisions about a location. So as a result, I helped develop Confidence Analytics, a digital platform that simplifies the process of finding a good location for a practice. We solve the problem of data inaccuracies using real-time verified businesses, and we also save time by using innovative algorithms that instantly find locations based on all the demographics that we want. And when undergoing third-party independent testing, our platform was found to meet and exceed the accuracy of the leading similar platforms in the US. We're currently making sales, and we've been recommended by the top dental startup experts in the US. And dentists love our product. We're also featured in the University of Toronto's newsletter on innovative dental technologies. So until we figure out time travel as a solution to fix our bad mistakes, I'm inviting you to visit our website. We're looking to expand our services to other industries. And so if you need a location analysis for a non-dental practice or business, we'd be happy to offer you our services in exchange for feedback. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great, Sarah. And I think that the point you made there at the end, I think, is a really important one. That, certainly for me as an investor, part of what I find compelling about Confidence Analytics is that you start by addressing the dentist market, something that you personally understand because you're a dentist. And so you know all about this, about how choosing the right location for your practice can have a dramatic impact on your lifetime earning potential. But this is also true of CPAs, of attorneys, of plumbers and auto body shops and all kinds of different professions.
That's right. Absolutely.
And so it's kind of thing. One of the things I find particularly compelling, as I said, about your venture is the fact that you've established one particular sector kind of to nail first. And then once you nail that, there's a variety of other sectors that this same solution can be applied to. So I think that's super exciting. We're getting as always, we're getting a question about pricing. So how, you don't have to tell us numbers, but just kind of how do you price this? In other words, is it like a consulting engagement, or is it software that I just simply log onto and use? How does it work?
We have different solutions to meet the needs of different businesses. So we do have subscription-based, we have area analysis, we have single site analysis. So really, we cater to the needs of the business and the individual person.
Terrific. And then Tahir asks a question about you can add more USP, more value to your business by giving the same service customers find the relevant business for them. Oh, I see. Making it a two-way street. So he's saying that it could also be something consumers use to find a dentist. That's interesting.
Absolutely. That's an interesting,
Yeah, that's a very, very interesting idea.
Thank you.
Yeah. USP is unique selling proposition. Right. Terrific. Thanks very much, Sarah. That was great.
Thank you, Brett.
Okay, so a couple of quick notes. One is that make sure you enter any questions you have for our entrepreneurs. Please enter them in the chat box. And then secondly, if you go to fourthly.com and scroll down and click on the demo day button, you'll see a list of all the ventures, and you'll also find a link to a Medium article written about those ventures. And I'll also be sending out to all of you who are here today. I'll be sending you out a summary with links to the descriptions of the ventures as well as links to their sites. So next up is Vandita. Vandita, hi. How are you?
Hey, Brett. I'm doing well.
Do I hear kids in the background?
I just stepped down to make sure they're not making noise.
So Vandita is joining us from Silicon Valley, and she's a great mom, as you can hear in the background. And she's got a terrific product that I think you'll enjoy hearing about because A, all of us are interested in what we can do to help save the planet, and B, Our product kind of specifically addresses how to make it easier for us to help save the planet, which I think is a key feature, right? That when you look at a key factor, I should say, when you look at the things that we need to do in order to be environmentally sound, be environmentally responsible, a lot of it has to do with just changing behavior. And so Vandita's product, as you're about to hear, makes it really easy to change your behavior and be a more responsible steward of the planet. So Vandita, tell us more.
Yeah, thanks, Brett, for the introduction. So, hi everyone. I'm the founder of Zilch, an eco-friendly brand that makes zero waste living convenient. This is our planet, our beautiful Earth, and this is what our planet will look like in 2050. The legacy of plastic age. From Stone Age to bronze to iron to plastic, we've come too far. But when it comes to plastic, only about less than 5% of it gets recycled. From our morning coffee alone, every minute, about 1 million disposable cups end up in our oceans. And this is not just a planet problem, but also a big health threat as the microplastics climb up the food chain and end up on our plates. So what's the most obvious solution to it? Stop using disposables and reuse more. But to think about it, for drinking a coffee beverage that takes 15 minutes, using cups like these don't make sense at all. They are oversized, bulky, and very hard to fit in our backpacks. So I decided to do something about it. And after months of industrial designing, I've come up with Zilch, a reusable coffee cup made out of stainless steel that collapses into pocket size, about an inch, and then later expands into a premium grade barista-friendly cup. Zilch is not just space saving, but it's 100% leak proof with a unique locking mechanism so that the cup would never collapse while you're drinking from it. And because of stainless steel as a material, it provides thermal insulation. It's dishwasher safe, it fits in standard car cup holders, durable, compact, and uber quality. It comes in various colors. Our plan is to launch Zilch on Kickstarter by mid-July, and we're planning to do direct to consumers from our website by the end of the year. And we're going to be in various online marketplaces and different distribution channels. But our main idea is to market Zilch as an eco-friendly fashion accessory and not just a cup, and to turn our consumers into sustainability champs and completely transform the way people sip beverages. So who's in to support me in keeping our oceans clean and help this guy and his friends live peacefully? After all, there's no planet B.
That is absolutely true. Vandita, there is no planet B.
I know.
So it was terrific. So I'm kind of assuming that you probably have other products in mind as well, because there's certainly plenty of opportunity for sort of eco-friendly products of a variety of kinds. So can you give us any hints about other products that you're thinking about?
Yeah, definitely. Like the next product probably after a cup would be a food container that we go because we go to restaurants every time and we always end up packing food from there. Yeah. And that is we're trying to make it like foldable, so it's comfortable for a user to carry, and then they can pack up the food, bring it home. Yeah, and similar lines.
I love how many great ideas come from great moms. So do we have? Let's see. So your oldest is 7, is that right?
7, yeah.
Yeah. So that's old enough to be using one of these cups, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's another kind of great opportunity. Is you could sell family packs.
Yeah.
And each member of the family gets their own color.
Definitely.
And then it's easy to reuse them and remember whose is whose and et cetera. So
and some kid-friendly prints on them for the kids. So yeah.
Great. So Aram asks whether there's anything similar in the market right now. Is this kind of a new thing, do you think? Or?
Yeah, so we do have some collapsible cups in the market, but most of them are made out of silicone, which has its own struggle. I've used the silicone collapsible cups myself, and with the material of what my experience has been, silicone retains the smell of the coffee. So if you're drinking coffee one day and then if you're having boba tea the next day, you would still have the coffee smell it. And that's why I purposely went for stainless steel as a material, which also provides with the insulation.
Right. Okay, excellent. And these will be available soon on Kickstarter?
Yes.
Is that right? So give us an idea of the timeline on that.
Yeah, so it'll be somewhere mid-July. We're still checking on the dates. But yeah, look out for Zilch on Kickstarter. And then I'll be sending some links after this.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Vandita.
Yeah, thanks, Brett.
Okay, so let's see. I think next up is Rafael joining us from Brazil. Good morning, Rafael.
Hi, Brett. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So, Portuguese is a pretty difficult language for those of us, for us stupid Americans. And I've been to Brazil a couple times, and one of the things that I learned in Brazil is that you guys pronounce the R like a h. And so while most of us, while us Americans would look at your name and think it was Raphael, it's actually Rafael. Is that right?
That is correct.
So I'm just giving that to everybody as your little Portuguese lesson for the day. Okay, so Rafael is going to tell us about the fact that Brazilians are a little bit passionate about their sports.
So hello, everyone. Thanks for being here. I'm Rafael. I'm speaking from Brazil, and I'm the CEO of Desolate, translated 1818. As you all know, Brazilians are very passionate about sports, especially soccer. Soccer is part of our everyday lives since we're very young. It's a passion that passes through generations. The top 10 teams in Brazil today have a fan base of 134 million people. And there are studies that shows that around 17.5 million of these people are diehard fans. That means that soccer is more important than religion to them. The problem is that fan engagement has been dropping dramatically over the past decade. Young generations have been bombarded with entertainment options such as Netflix, Google Prime, Disney Plus, and of course, video games. What we're doing is building a platform with interaction, gamification, and augmented reality tools to enhance fan experiences during live matches. We want to bring stadiums to people's houses. The platform will provide us an opportunity to sell products and services such as beverage, food and beverage, merchandise, even financial services. So where are we? We're now testing our concept in a free-to-play predictive game platform where people make predictions during live matches and compete for prizes with each other. We have done the test for only 2 matches, and 1,200 people were registered in the matches. We also had 50% of the people in the first match coming back to play the second game. We are using poll questions in this platform to get to know our audiences and find the next steps and the next features we can build for them. We are looking at AR prototype options, and we are ready to start the monetization process in this platform with advertising and product sales. My name is Rafael. This is my business partner, Manny. We have more than 15-year experience in multinational corporations and in the financial market. We have both been entrepreneurs for the past 5 years. My email contact is in the slide, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Thank you very much.
Very nice, Rafael. So, so let's see. I'm interested in, so you've done this little bit of testing, this first couple of matches for beta testing. And what have you been hoping to learn, and what have you learned so far? I mean, this is a really important point for entrepreneurs, right? For entrepreneurs everywhere is how do we do an MVP, a minimum viable product? How do we get something out there in front of people? And what do we want to learn from that?
Okay, so the good thing about this platform is that we can learn if people are really engaged in using the whole second screen experience. I mean,
Second screen experience, right?
Second screen, people are using the second screen, the cell phone live events increasingly every year. So we want to know that if they are really engaged in tools like that, if they will be engaged in answering questions and having fun with their friends throughout the whole match. And of course, we use it to make polls to see what kind of other features they would like to have. So maybe interactive features that they can communicate with other people, or some augmented reality tools that they can play other games or be involved more in the immersive experience of the match.
Right. So Danielson asked the question about competitors. I guess some people probably, they watch the game on TV while they're on Facebook, in a Facebook group about their favorite sports team. But what are the other kind of competitors and alternatives out there?
So of course, social media like Facebook is a competitor because people can watch and talk to their friends while they're viewing a match. We have some other sports app where there's a lot of content, like you can find stats and scores about the game, but there is not really a platform where you can find content and also interaction. That's what we're trying to build.
Mm-hmm. And this seems like an area that's pretty ripe for augmented reality. So are you looking at using AR technologies in this?
Definitely, we're already looking to options. I think the augmented reality will be a part of the future of the digital world in sports. So we're definitely looking to gamification of augmented reality, and also tools where we can involve sponsors and to promote ads for the consumers.
Terrific. Well, Rafael, thanks very much. That was great. Okay, so next up, joining us from Nashville, Tennessee, is Eric. Morning, Eric.
Morning.
So, Eric's startup, Averick, is, as I said at the top of the hour, is sort of an example of this bringing access to more people thing. That there's an awful lot of gig workers out there, right? The gig economy is thriving. But most gig workers, they don't have access to a CPA. They don't know how to optimize their taxes. They don't know how to keep compliant or regular from an accounting perspective. And Eric, as a CPA, knows all about that. So he kind of identified this problem we're solving, which is gig workers, big growing market, need access to the same quality of accounting and tax information as others do. So, Eric, with that introduction, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right, thank you very much. My name is Eric Van Lens. I'm a CPA, independent contractor, and I absolutely hate doing my taxes. And so that's what gave me the idea for Averick Technologies. I think everyone remembers the day when your parents would tell you that don't get in cars with strangers, don't talk to strangers. That's pretty much changed in 2020, 2021. Today, you can get into a car from a stranger. You can get your food delivered by a stranger. You can rent their home while you're on vacation, or they can come into your home and walk your dog. So essentially, we are surrounded by strangers, but they're pretty much no longer strangers. They are the gig workers. And the total market for the gig economy is pretty large. So there's roughly 160 million people in the current workforce, of which 57.3 million are freelance workers in some capacity, maybe full-time, part-time. That's roughly the entire population of California and New York combined. So there's one thing that no matter how rich you are, so if you're Jeff Bezos or if you're the guy who just delivered my coffee this morning, There's one thing money cannot buy, and that's time. Independent contractors spend on average 2.5 times more hours than regular employees just doing their taxes and their filings. Most of the time, gig workers just get frustrated and tend to take the standard deduction because all of the compliance and the manual entry associated with that. So what we're trying to do is fix that for them. And essentially what I have created in the system is akin to an accounting software similar to QuickBooks and FreshBooks and Wave, but where we're going to rip out pretty much everything that is not necessary and provide more value on a cheaper cost to independent contractors, primarily in the platform economy, but expanding to folks such as myself who do independent work. So our primary goal is to automate expenditures so that you can focus more on your life and not just doing the data entry. We're going to simplify tax reporting by taking the expenditures and focusing them towards the Schedule C, which is what you file with the IRS at the end of the year. Another thing that platforms do not have is simple notifications. Your 1040 ES, which is your estimated tax filings, we're going to remind our users when to do that. We're going to assist them with that. And we are going to be able to give our users pretty much time. And that's what our mission is. I believe that Averick is giving people access to a CPA in their pocket. I look forward to connecting with you. Again, my name is Eric Van Lens, and I'm the founder of Averick Technologies. Thank you.
Very nice, Eric. So it seems like there's, I mean, the whole gig economy thing is fascinating to me because, first of all, there've been independent workers for a long time, right? Plumbers and contractors and electricians and whatever. Hairstylists. You and I were talking the other day about how hairstylists, they rent a chair in the salon. They're basically gig workers. So the concept's been around for a long time, but now all of a sudden the proliferation of the various gig work platforms has really turned it into a huge trend.
Let's give people the ability to be their own boss, like Uber and Lyft and WAG and things like that. People want to be free.
Yeah. So you'll be able to connect directly to some of these gig working platforms. Is that right?
Yes, that's our end goal right there. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that seems to me to be a huge thing because, I know personally, if I have to write everything down with a paper and pencil, it doesn't get done. It's like the mileage log that we're all supposed to keep.
Well, that's why people take the standard deduction because it is so difficult. But and the good thing about whether or not you're a driver or a dog walker, at the end of the day, the accounting is exactly the same.
Yeah. Right. And so give us an idea of the timeline on this. When will it be ready? Can people sign up now?
You can go to our website and sign up for updates. We are preparing to launch within the next couple of weeks. We're going to be deploying our own mileage tracker, and then we are going to be able to take customers then and really focus on our core customer and helping them.
Great. And this is a straight subscription model, is that right?
Yeah, that is correct. We're kind of modeling it on freemium. We're going to give access for free at first, and then we're going to layer on additional services. But our goal is to keep it as cheap as possible because our customers don't need add-on layers of technology such as QuickBooks. So we're targeting the $4.99 per month range, and if you need access to more, we're go up from there. But it's our focus is keep it simple.
So $5 a month, that's $60 a year. That's a whole hell of a lot cheaper than hiring a CPA.
Yes.
Yes,
nice. It is.
Yeah. I love this. Eric, thanks very much. That was great.
Thank you.
Okay, so next up is Nick. Nick, where are you today?
San Francisco,
California. And is the weather typically cold and gray and miserable?
Typically, but we're having an atypical day today. It's actually pretty nice. It's probably windy as hell, but it's very nice outside the window.
Excellent. All right, so Nick's business, fits into this overarching umbrella, kind of the theme of today, which is bringing the power of big enterprise software to individual operators. I always say that most great ventures begin with an entrepreneur who notices a problem we're solving. And of course, the best way to notice a problem we're solving is experiencing the problem yourself. So Nick has been a small business operator doing work for other small businesses, and so he has both experienced the problem himself of access to digital tools and trying to figure out how to get them integrated together, and he's also seen his own clients struggle with the same issue. And so I love the fact that that his startup comes out of noticing a problem we're solving and a problem that he felt himself. So, yeah. Nick, tell us more. Tell us more.
Thank you. Yeah, about 10 years ago, I owned a small design and marketing firm in San Diego and helped small businesses kind of get started, build websites, branding, and all of that nature. So, as Brett said, my name is Nick Manning. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Mercado. Mercado is a new integrated commerce and marketing platform driven by AI. We know there's a lot of solutions already out there, but many of them don't come integrated out of the box, and most fall flat with a particular segment of users who are already battling an uphill battle. So with that, Mercado's focusing on the micro merchant. You might be asking, what is a micro merchant? So you can call many things, but we identified them as one of the 24 million businesses in the United States that generate less than 250,000 in billings each year. So these are really small businesses. Today, I'd like to introduce you to one micro merchant in particular, my friend Tyler. She's a mom, she's a wife, and she has a full-time job, and she has a very, very full day. So the thing with Tyler is she really loves to find vintage decor and housewares and then sell them online. It's not just her hobby, it's her passion, and that passion is her business. And like any business of any size, she's faced with the challenges of managing sales and marketing of her business. So Tyler downloads Mercado from the App Store, and moments after answering a few questions, she now has a new website, a blog, an online store, and a full-fledged marketing platform behind her, all integrated and all ready to go. The ability to sell anywhere is crucial for any business of any size. With Mercado, Tyler has that capability. She can sell online, in person, even send invoices to her for her services. But the real magic starts after Tyler starts selling. And that's thanks to the Mercado's business insights and recommendation engine. And that's the real magic of Mercado. Machine learning and AI is employed to analyze the next move for Tyler. Should she send an email, publish an ad, or maybe she hasn't been on social media in a while and should post and engage with her followers. It's like having a marketing manager in her pocket. With Mercado, Tyler has a consolidated place to find all of her sales data. The guesswork has been completely removed on where, when, and how to market her business. And maybe just as important, she doesn't have to worry about subscriptions to half a dozen different tools. It's very simple. Mercado is only taking a small percentage of her sales, so she only pays as she grows. If you are like Tyler, or you know someone like Tyler, please request an invite to gain early access to the Mercado app. You can do that on our website at mercado.io. Or if maybe you feel like Mercado would be a great fit for your investment portfolio, shoot us an email at hello@mercado.io to keep the conversation going. Thank you.
Very nice, Nick. So I've got the same timeline question for you of is this available now? When do you expect to have it available? What's the timeline look like?
Yeah, well, we're inviting a select number of users to have kind of an early access right now. We're building kind of a custom implementation for them. Mm-hmm. However, we do have our wait list on the website where you can request the invite once we're ready to onboard at a slightly smaller or larger scale. And we're hoping to do that over the summer and be prepared for a release in the fall.
So release in the fall. And you told us about Tyler, obviously, but give us another example of what you think kind of the prototypical customer. is
Sure.
Mercado.
Yeah. So, anyone who maybe has an idea for a business, or maybe they have a craft or hobby, these are great candidates for the app. It's very easy for us to identify the 24 million small businesses that are accounted for by the SBA, but there's also a ton of businesses that we can't quantify who just haven't started because the barrier is too challenging. And so the ideas are trying to reduce those barriers, reduce the cost and the friction that would cause to start your business, and create more space for that. So there's a lot of businesses out there like Tyler's. My sister-in-law is another great example. We also have, IT consultants who maybe not selling a product, but they're billing for their time, and a product like this would be perfect for them as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I wrote a Medium piece recently about how I think this is the decade of the solopreneur. That and this has been a trend for a while, right? That it's over the last 20 years, it's become easier and easier to start a business out of your own living room. And then, of course, COVID, took that trend and accelerated it, because all of a sudden everyone was stuck in their living room.
Yeah, and we're seeing it with the gig economy.
Yeah,
the difference with is the gig economy, you have like a discipline or product or service that you're delivering for someone else. We're providing that infrastructure so you can do the same thing.
Yeah, and you mentioned Etsy and these other platforms, and I think that this is really exciting trend of giving individuals access to global markets, right? That it used to be that, if I wanted to start a knitting business or a woodworking business and sell my stuff, I didn't have access to global markets. Maybe I had access to the town I live in. But now with platforms like Etsy and eBay and such, everyone literally has access to global markets, and it really it's a huge driver for this trend of towards solopreneurs. So yeah, this is exciting stuff, Nick. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so last up today are the folks at Locale. So here's the thing: is that for me, as I look out at the landscape of opportunities and challenges across the world today for entrepreneurs and innovators, there's nothing more challenging or bring more opportunity than feeding people, right? That there's 7.5 billion people currently on the planet, and we can barely sustainably feed them. So how the hell are we going to sustainably feed the 10 billion people we're going to have by 2050? And there's a whole bunch of different layers to that. And one of the layers to it, I think, is giving individual farmers better access to markets, and cutting out the middleman and such. And so, when I first heard about Locale, it was one of the things that I found exciting about it was it's in some ways, and they'll tell you a little bit more about this, but in some ways, in my head anyway, it's kind of taking the farmer's market idea and making it more accessible to all, so that a farmer can make his fresh goods available to everybody in a metropolitan area. They'll tell you more, but I think it's pretty exciting stuff. And also, this is one of those ideas that kind of got started during COVID and is totally taken off. So, Chris, I'll let you introduce yourself and the team.
Thanks so much, Brett. Yeah, we're really excited to be here. So Locale basically lets you order from all of your favorite local businesses, even if they're hours away from you, and get them delivered together in one box and pay the same price that you pay in store. So why did we start Locale? We noticed that small businesses wanted to feel connected to their customers, and customers wanted an easier way to order from a bunch of businesses at once, not just one at a time. Delivery services were not fulfilling this need. A lot of small ticket items like baked goods, flowers, coffee beans, they cost $5 to $10. You don't want to pay an extra $5 to $10 just in delivery alone. It doesn't make sense for a lot of products. So our business model is customers order throughout the week on our website. At the end of the week, we purchase these items from the local businesses, and then we have them delivered straight to their door once a week. It's basically like drop shipping, but for food. I want to tackle this head on, right? There's a lot of players in the space. We're very aware of this. I'm sure you recognize a lot of these logos. And this is why we're different. So we deliver farther than many of them. We deliver up to hours away. So you could be in San Francisco and you can order from a business in Santa Cruz. With a very low delivery fee, you have fresher products than any other aggregated service, right? So we don't warehouse any products. So like you said, if you got that baked good in Santa Cruz, it's made that morning and it's delivered all the way there. We're small business friendly, so because we have that early order cycle, we can give businesses estimates earlier in the week and they can plan their supply chain around us. Like I said, we aggregate products and we have positive unit economics, something that a lot of these other businesses can't say.
Yeah, so since we founded about a year ago now, we've done over 10,000 deliveries. We retain over 80% of our customers from month to month, and the average customer will order a little over $100 of food. We've also donated over 6,000 pounds of food to local charitable organizations and have been featured in quite a few publications around the Bay Area. You know, a big part of our strength as a brand is the strength of the brand of the vendors that we work with. And you might recognize some of the brands you see on the screen here, but really we work with anyone from a small local farmer all the way to a Michelin star chef.
So our market is really a combination of a few different markets. So we operate in the restaurant and consumer delivery market because we have meal kits from great restaurants, and we also do groceries, like your staples, your eggs, your meat, anything in between. And so if you combine those markets, it's even a bigger market that's rapidly growing. We think we can capture the upper end of this market, like the high end, 40%, to about $5 billion market. Here's our team. So we have about 6 full-time employees. And you know, we're all young, as you can see, and we know that we don't know everything about food delivery. So we have a great team of advisors ranging from the operators of Orange Hummus, which is a famous chain. It was one of the first businesses on DoorDash, all the way to CFOs and CMOs of $100 million companies to really help guide us in the right direction. So we're really looking for anyone to help give their advice. We're always looking for new advisors and ways that we can improve, and we'd love for you to reach out and give us your thoughts. Thanks.
Thank you.
Nice job, guys. So you kind of touched on this, but I think it's a really important thing to reiterate, which is that the fundamental economics of your operation are pretty compelling compared to Instacart and DoorDash and the other on-demand services, which is that because you take orders during the week and then deliver on weekends, it means you don't have the inventory issues, and you also don't have the same resource planning issues that, you know, these days a restaurant on a Friday night, the restaurant isn't sure how much staffing to do because they don't know how many DoorDash orders are going to come in. Whereas because what you guys are doing is all orders during the week for weekend delivery of your boxes, it you know, there's some dramatic economic efficiencies to that. Do you want to speak anything more about that? Because I think it's a really important point.
Yeah, no, you nailed it. I mean, the thing is, restaurants get most of their DoorDash orders when they're already the busiest, right? They don't necessarily, it's competing for their time. That's super valuable at 5 p.m., 8 p.m. on a Friday, right? And so for us, if we deliver all their meal kits on a Saturday, they can make them, you know, we tell them to order on Thursday. So they can make it Thursday, they can make it Friday, they get Friday in the morning when they have employees, they have these fixed costs, they'd love to cover, but they don't have, you know, customers coming to them. And so it really lets them take advantage of their fixed costs in a way that hasn't been done before. Or another example would be a bakery that needs to start, you know, rising the dough like Wednesday, right? They can't predict with DoorDash how many they're going to get. And so they have a whole bunch of ways, they have a whole bunch of customers who can't get what they want. And so for us, you know, there's not the issue of waiting at that famous bakery and, you know, getting to the front of the line and there's nothing left, right? Because for us, we give them the exact amount. And they really appreciate it. It's something that's really brought us a lot of quality vendors because it's something they can't get with any other delivery service.
Yeah. And are you guys currently fundraising, or what's the status there?
Yeah, so we just closed our first round of funding.
I missed the opportunity.
You missed it, Brad. Yeah, next one. I'll catch you next one. But we're really looking to use those funds to expand all the way throughout the Bay Area into the East Bay. We recently expanded to delivering to Santa Cruz. And we're going to look at expanding even further.
Yeah, that's great. All right, nice work, guys. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, Brett.
Thank you.
All right, well, that completes the Fourthly Demo Day for spring 2021. Really a great group of ventures, I think. So as I mentioned at the top of the hour, the World Economic Forum says we're now entering the fourth industrial revolution. And what makes it unique from the previous three, the first one was London and around the cotton mill and steam engine. The second was in the mass production centers, Detroit and such, and around electricity and mass production. And then the third industrial revolution obviously has been IT, the internet, computers, and very much centered around Silicon Valley. And what makes the next industrial revolution that we're now entering different is that it's happening all over the world today. It's not happening just in one place. It's happening in Austin and Tel Aviv and in Brazil and in New York and in London and in Berlin. It's uniquely different than the previous three. And I think you saw from some of the presentations today, the fact that there are interesting examples of entrepreneurship and innovation happening all over the world today. So thanks very much for joining. Appreciate it. And go to fourthly.com. You can read more about these ventures and more about our upcoming programs. Thanks, everybody. See ya.